This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet in the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos and confusion. I said to a friend the other day that I feel like there's a path being laid out for me. And I'm being squeezed to take the path, even though it's a path that is very unfamiliar and it is very unlike anything I've done before. These broom closet recordings are one of those paths. But I am attempting to follow that call, and at the same time, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And, my friend I'm really grateful that this friend, held really compassionate and grace-filled space for me in that. And, her response was a question of like, well, do you need to know what's happening? And I think there lies the liminal space to step into, right? Like, to take steps and not know where the steps are taking us, right? That's very outside of patriarchy and white supremacy, which is all about control and powering over. Linear steps, like setting a path. I'm starting here, I'm going to take X number of steps, and I'm going to get here. And that's what's been ingrained in me, likely in you who's listening. And if you don't move that way, it is because it's an intention. One has intentionally decided to not walk that way, to not move that way, to not behave that way, to not define action in that way. And that trust, that's, there's the rub, the trust that there is an energy that exists that is balanced, divine masculine energy, that when ready, inspired action will be made clear. But that is being determined and in balance with the divine feminine of going in and knowing that there are some things that I can't see, and trusting that my higher self, my elevated ancestors, archangels, spirit guides have my best interest, and that if I follow my purpose, all else will fall into place as it needs to fall into place. And that's way easier said than done, right? Like, to step into that trust of, well, I think even before, maybe alongside that, because I was going to say before that, but time is a lie, right? And we're in spiral times. So connected to that is understanding one's purpose. Like, what am I here for? What am I doing? I'm recording this during Venus retrograde, and keep coming back to that energy of like, Venus retrograde is offering us the energy to clarify values, to really clarify the values and the belief systems that I am grounded in, right? All of us, it's offering all of us this energy. But if you've been listening to this, I like to stay in the I, not from a sense of rugged individualism, but from a sense of helping to model. A lot of this work is going to be from the I. All of us can be doing it, but the collective gift, the energy that the energy that I can offer the collective is by doing this I work, so that I'm helping to foster something other than power over, oppressive, suppressive, and controlling energy. So part of the path is like getting to an understanding of what is that authentic voice, that path that I'm on. Another conversation I had with a friend, actually today, very recent, today, I said, well, I don't think I'm here to work at Starbucks. Not that there's anything wrong with Starbucks or working, well, backtrack. Not that there's anything wrong with having to work at Starbucks. I'm not judging that, or, I just use that as an example. Could be Pete's or whatever, coffee shop, right? There's nothing wrong with that labor. I also know that I'm here for something more, something beyond that capitalist construct way of living. And my friend was like, oh, absolutely not. That's what she's like, take that thought out of your head. She was like, 100% take that thought out of your head. That's fear. And I think that like trusting the path that I'm on and stepping into a different belief system is even having that conversation, being vulnerable and having that conversation with someone to be able to hear both that response of, do you need to know what steps, why you're doing what you're doing? Do you need that clarity right now? And take that thought out of your head. Like, to be in that connective conversation with others is part of the path and is part of building trust. And it's tough. Both of those conversations came out of me experiencing pretty heavy moments, in this chaos and confusion of wondering, how do I survive in a time where the very processes that I call my purpose, why I'm here, around helping folks, well, really first myself and then others, reorient myself to understand worthiness, value exists outside consumerism, capitalism, power over models. That idea is under fire in so many different ways. And so even stepping into that can be really difficult, let alone getting to a point of trusting that process, trusting what that releasing old beliefs, behaviors, and definitions entails. And I feel moved, like there's a I don't know the correct term for it, but I want to say, I'll say like an aspect, an embodiment of Kali Ma called Artha of Kali. And it's an energy that has shown up for me in 2023 maybe 3 or 4 times it showed up. And in that is this idea of like understanding that the divine masculine and divine feminine exists, and what does it mean to hold both. But to even get there and holding both, it is this idea of doing the work to let go of old belief systems of one's value, of worth, of what will create abundance and prosperity, and having to relinquish those things to open the door to other things, which is this moment we're in. That's like the combination of like Venus retrograde pushing us to reevaluate what's happening, and then eclipse energy to step deep into that and burn it off, and the deep Chiron and other centaur asteroid energy that's present right now to help us heal our deepest wounds. And so I don't know if you're on a similar, I would imagine if you've been listening to this, you too might be on a similar path. And so I will offer you what has been helping me to trust and grow the path before me. And that is spending a lot of time outside, as much time as I possibly can, listening to the birds, watching them, talking to trees, noticing trees, being by water, taking baths when I can, a lot of still time, quiet time, even if that's minutes in the car before you start the car, or doing the dishes, being very mindful, right? We can find these moments. But those are the things, spending time with my dog, paying attention to how I'm moving in relationship to others. Like, these are all ways that are helping me grow that trust necessary, helping me be in the trust necessary to grow into the path that is being offered, I think, to many of us in this time of chaos and confusion as we shift paradigms. This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet. The energy here stays here. The energy there stays there. I'll sense you later. Return when you feel moved to do so. Same Bruja time, same Bruja channel.